Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adam and this is Adam FPL, and welcome to the Game Week 3 predictions. And I found something, it's called predictthescore.net. So this is what I'm going to use to do my predictions. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I think there's leaderboards and stuff like that. I've not really looked at the point system, but I'm going to use it as my tool to show how I'm going to predict the games going into Game Week 3. And we'll start off with the 12:30 kickoff this weekend, and that's Brighton and Hove Albion at home to Manchester United. Brighton away at Newcastle, convincing 3-0 victory. Neil Maupay coming up with 2 goals. Aaron Connolly looking promising. Tariq Lamptey looking unbelievable. Man United, on the other hand, lost at home to Crystal Palace by 3-1. There was no runners. It looked really slow, lethargic, lackadaisical. However, I do think that Man United are going to bounce back, and I know the form over one game may say otherwise, but I think Man United will come back. I think this is the game where, players like Martial and Rashford and co, they'll have more space to operate in. Brighton are I think, will attack a little bit more and try to take the game to Man United because they're at home at the Amex. And I think this is the sort of game where these United players thrive and come good. Bruno Fernandes as well. I remember that game. He got a brace against Brighton in the last fixture between these two after lockdown. So I'm going to go for a Manchester United win. I'm going to go for a bit of a shock win as well. A bit of a convincing win. And I'm going to go for Man United to win by 3-1. Then we have the Eagles, Crystal Palace at home to Everton. Crystal Palace, of course, coming off that massive win at Old Trafford by 3-1. They look good. They've got Eze, Ayew, Zaha, Townsend. Offensively, they look exceptional. And even defensively, despite the injuries, to go to Old Trafford and get a result, Tyreek Mitchell, Mamadou Sakho, these, they still got injuries to key players, Ferguson, and I can't remember the other defenders. But I do think that they look good considering their injuries. Then we have Everton, who look exceptional. The first 2 games to come up with wins against Tottenham and against West Brom. They look, like a team that's on the up under Ancelotti with James Rodriguez, Calvin-Lewin. They look exceptional. However, I don't think Crystal Palace is going to be an easier game. I think it's going to be harder than the first 2 games they've played against Tottenham and West Brom. And Palace at home, they'll be defensively very tight. So I expect a tight affair in this game. Not many goals either. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Then we go to the legendary team, the mighty West Bromwich Albion at home to Chelsea. Now, West Bromwich Albion not had the best of starts. They had a bit of a disaster show against Everton. They actually played well in the first half. I remember they started off the game really well. They looked really good on the ball, really good defensively. They got some great attacking players in Mateus Pereira and Grady Diangana, who they signed from West Ham. However, defensively, they've not been very good. They've conceded the most goals over the first 2 game weeks, and they've also conceded the most shots, more than any other team at 24. And I think this might play into Chelsea's hands. Chelsea, of course, are without Pulisic and Ziyech for this game. However, I still think they have enough quality with Mount and Jorginho and Timo Werner, who I think will be the main man for them, to be able to get Chelsea over the line. I don't think it's going to be convincing because Chelsea aren't playing that well. However, I do think that they'll get the result. So I'm going to go for a Chelsea win by 2-1. Then we have Burnley at home to Southampton, the fixture of the weekend. If you remember that one. If you know, you know. Burnley, the Dingles, they've started off all right. They didn't. I know they lost to Southampton. Sorry, not Southampton, Leicester. But that's a difficult fixture, and they have got defensive injuries, which is a bit of a concern for them. Whereas Southampton, yes, they lost 5-2, and defensively they looked awful against Tottenham. but offensively they create a lot of chances, and I do think there's going to be goals in this game. A bit of a shock, there's going to be some goals in this game, and I think Southampton's defence are there to be got at. On the other hand, I think Southampton also create a lot of chances, so I think there's going to be goals. I'm going to go for a bit of a shock result here. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Then we have Sheffield United at home to Leeds. Sheffield United not the best start in the league. They're yet to score a goal. However, I do think they will end this drought against Leeds, given how poor defensively that Leeds have been. On the other hand, Leeds offensively look exceptional. They've been scoring a lot of chances, but when you look at their expected goals, they've only scored 7 goals from 12 shots on target. I think they've been a bit lucky. And you know what? I'm going to go for a bit of a shock result here. And I think Sheffield United might edge this one. So I'm going to go for a Sheffield United win by a solitary goal to 0. Oops, how do we do that? There we go, 0. Then we have the mighty Tottenham Hotspur at home to Newcastle. Obviously Tottenham winning by 5 goals to 2. Was it a freak result at Southampton or was it not? That's the question to be asked. At the time of recording this, they're playing a Europa League game against I'm not sure how to say that name. However, they are drawing with them at the moment 1-1. They've not been convincing, which is surprising considering the level, the difference in quality between them and this Europa League side. And I think it's going to be more difficult this game at home to Newcastle. Newcastle are going to be a bit more defensive. They're going to sit back as Steve Bruce would like them to do, I would assume. But I do think Tottenham will get the result in this game. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory. Actually, no, I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm going to give Newcastle a goal. 2-1. Then we have Manchester City out home to Leicester. I just noticed this uses the old badges in this, which is pretty interesting. But Manchester City against Leicester. City just look absolutely flying at the moment. De Bruyne, Foden, Jesus, they look exceptional. And I think they're going to blow Leicester away. Defensively, Leicester don't look too good. They conceded 2 against Burnley. And I think they've been a bit lucky defensively. And now Ndidi's out injured. That's another defensive injury for them to worry about. And I'm going to go for a bit of a... I wouldn't say it's a shock result, but a bit of a crazy result. Most definitely. I'm going to go for a 5-1 Manchester City win. Get that in there. There we go. Then we have West Ham at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And it's a game of the Hams. But yeah, West Ham, they looked convincing in that Carabao Cup game. Haller got 2 goals. Yarmolenko got 2 goals against Hull, where they beat 5-1. But the question is, will Moyes play the right lineup? And if he does, then I think they could do something in this game. However, if he doesn't, it's going to be the same old for them. Antonio just being isolated. It seems to be the same old issues with them at the moment. Not brought in a single signing, which is a bit of a concern, as well as the dressing room being absolute turmoil at the moment. On the other hand, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've been on the up, albeit they lost to Manchester City, but that's not the worst result in the world. Man City are exceptional. But they've bought in Semedo for £27 million, I think, with add-ons from Barcelona, which is a very good signing, a signing of intent there from Wolves. They've also got Jimenez, Podence doing well. Who else have they got? Traore playing as a wing-back, which has done okay for them. And I think they are going to win this game, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory at the London Stadium to Wolverhampton. Then we have Fulham at home to Aston Villa. Fulham very defensively leaky, and it could be a long hard season for them in another relegation battle yet again. Mitrovic looked good, and they look like a team that can score goals, but again the same old problems cropping up for them defensively. It's a bit of deja vu from 2 seasons ago. Mitrovic going to be the man to carry them to the end. And then we also have Aston Villa. Obviously Jack Grealish just signed a new deal. Martinez, who I think probably maybe the best goalkeeper signing of the season, in my opinion. £20 million, absolute bargain. Made a penalty save against Sheffield. I think defensively they will be a bit better this season compared to last season, Aston Villa, given they've had a season in the Premier League now. But again, it's difficult to call this one. I think this could honestly go either way. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. And then last but not least, we have Liverpool at home to Arsenal. And I think that Liverpool are going to run away with this. I know Arsenal defensively a bit better, but historically they've done awful at Anfield. And I think Liverpool are going to win this game. And I'm going to go for a 3-0 Liverpool victory, despite Arsenal coming back, coming a bit stronger now. I think, you know, they're in for a hiding at some point, and I think Liverpool will be the ones to do it. And that'd be a real test for Arsenal. If they do lose this game, how do they come back? And that'll be one of the major tests for Mikel Arteta. Okay, so on here we also have goal scorers. So I can predict 5 goal scorers that I think are going to score this season. This game week. So let's see what we got. Let's go with the first one here. And I think that Arsenal are not going to score this week. Should we go with... We'll go with the Chelsea player first. So I think that... I think Timo Werner is definitely going to score this week, in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to go Timo Werner to get the goal this week. We'll also go for a Manchester City player this week. How do we do it? Is there anything else I can do? How do I select? Here. We'll go with the Manchester City player. And the player that I'm going to go with this week is Gabriel Jesus. If I can find him. Gabriel Jesus. They've not put it in order, have they? They put it in a bit of a weird order. Obviously, it works according to points, but I'm not really too bothered. This isn't really a competitive game for me. So I'm going to go with Gabriel Jesus as my second goal scorer. Then we'll also go for a Liverpool player, and I think it absolutely has to be Mohamed Salah this week. I think that is almost a given for me at Anfield. I think that's almost a certainty. Now I'll go for 2 perhaps differential options going into this week. And somebody that I really like, and that is Che Adams for Southampton, who I think will score this week. So if you can just find Southampton, SOU, there we go. 4 points if Che Adams scores for Southampton. And then also we'll go for, let's go for a bit of a differential one. Sheffield United. And for Sheffield United this week, I think that, who have we got here? We got Max Lowe, John Egan, Chris Basham, Sander Berge. Let's go for him. And that's going to be my prediction. Submit. Yep, this has been Adam FPL. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll just see if it's gone through. Double check again. Click here. Check your prediction planner. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's all done for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.